All right.
Tom, you're good?
Yeah.
All right. Good evening. Welcome to the Newton Town Council regular meeting of May 12th, 2025. If we could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You. All right, if we could please have a roll call.
Mr. Coos,
Here.
Mr. Dixon,
Here.
Mrs. Diglio,
Here,
Sandy, can you hear it?
yes, I can. I said here.
Mrs. Teets, Mayor LaFois.
Yes, here. So let it be noted that Councilwoman Diglio is joining us via phone and Councilwoman Teets is excused for the evening. In accordance with the Open Publics Meeting Act, notice of this regular meeting was given to the two newspapers of record and posted on the official bulletin board on January 3rd, 2025. For our consideration, we have the April 28th, 2025 regular meeting minutes tonight. Any comments regarding same? If not, can I have a motion to approve?
I'll have a motion to approve the April 28th, 2025 regular meeting minutes.
Great. Do you have a second?
I second.
That's Sandy's.
Okay, Sandy, got it. I have a motion to approve by Deputy Mayor Dixon and a second by Councilwoman Diglio. Roll call, please.
Mr. Coos,
Yes.
Mr. Dixon,
Yes.
Mrs. Diglio,
Yes,
Mayor LaFois.
Yes, I believe there is a delay. At this point in the meeting, the town council welcomes comments from any member of the public on any topic to help facilitate an orderly meeting and to permit the opportunity for anyone who wishes to be heard. Speakers are asked to take one turn at the microphone and please limit their comments to 3 minutes. The clerk will keep time. If reading from a prepared statement, please provide a copy and email a copy to the clerk's office after making your comments, so it may be properly reflected in the minutes. The council may choose to comment after the entire public portion has concluded. Please identify yourself and spell your last name for the record. Do we have anyone joining us here in public tonight who wishes to make a comment? All right, seeing none. Mr. Russo, do we have any online?
No raised hand.
No raised hands online. All right, we will close that first open portion. And we'll move on to council and manager reports. Mr. Russo.
For the record, the proclamation that the mayor gave last week for Jenny Switzer's 108th birthday at Liberty Towers. Just want to note that for the record.
Thank you. That's it. All right, Councilmember Coos.
I have nothing. Thank you.
Councilwoman Diglio.
I hope you can hear me. Plans for the Memorial Day Parade and ceremony at Memory Park are in full gear. I am hoping to see everybody there.
Okay, thank you. Deputy Mayor Dixon.
Nothing at this time for me. Thank you.
All right, just a couple of things. So yes, last Thursday, May 8th, Keller Williams Realty Company spent their red day at Liberty Towers. And so they were planting and mulching and weeding and sprucing things up. They also provided books for the landing library and they brought snacks to fill up the vending machines for our residents there at Liberty Towers. And then, yes, we did celebrate Jenny Switzer's 108th birthday. She's been at Liberty Towers for 29 years and she just retired at the age of 105 from her position in reception at Liberty Towers. She was there with her son. And as were many, many restaurants, and Keller Williams provided a wonderful lunch. They provided face painting for the seniors. I was pleasantly surprised to see how many of our seniors were living their best lives, getting their fake tattoos on their arms. And they also provided parting gifts for all of the seniors that were there as well. So it really was a wonderful afternoon. Mr. Russo, thank you for being there with me. It was nice to interact with everyone, and Keller Williams put forth the offer to make this their recurring project every year on their red day. I learned that they have about 110 agents in their Sparta office, right? If I recall, and they also offered if there were other municipal projects, but they really loved this one. So that was great. And then Councilwoman Teets and I, along with members from our police department, attended the Sussex County Sheriff's Crime Stoppers Spring Reception on April 30th at Farmstead. So that was a great night to show support for the Crime Stoppers program. And then the sheriff wanted to remind everyone that there is no tip too small, that they have been able to solve several crimes this past year because of tips provided by the public. And so citizens who have information about a crime, criminal activity, or wanted persons fugitives can call the 24-hour hotline. And that number is 973-300-CRIME, or you can visit the SussexCountySheriff.com website to anonymously report what you know. So it was good to get an update from the sheriff and others that were in attendance on April 30th. And then Michelle and Sandy, Tamron from Newton Chamber and others, there were about 100 people present, attended the ribbon cutting ceremony and the official opening of Davis Cookie Company on May 3rd. They are offering all kinds of coffees and teas and other non-alcoholic beverages, along with a vast variety of cookies. And I think they intend to also offer ice cream soon. They also have brownies and all types of things. So great addition to our community. So we welcome Davis Cookie Company. And I think that's all I have for now. Any other reports? We have a planning board meeting next week. Next Wednesday. Okay. And we have no unfinished business. We'll move on to ordinances. Tonight, we have a second reading and public hearing for ordinance 2025-10. This is a bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $2,604,000 for various capital improvements in and by the town of Newton and the county of Sussex, New Jersey, and authorizing the issuance of $2,466,000 bonds or notes of the town for financing part of the appropriation. At this point, we'll open the hearing to the public. Do we have anyone in person or online wishing to make a comment on this ordinance? Tom, any online?
No worries.
All right, seeing none, we will close the hearing to the public. I just need a motion to act.
I'll make a motion to
I
act
will
on
make,
ordinance 2025-10.
Thank you.
I will second the motion.
All right, I have a motion to move the ordinance by Deputy Mayor Dixon, a second by Councilwoman Diglio. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Coos,
Yes.
Mr. Dixon,
Yes.
Mrs. Diglio,
Yes,
Mayor LaFois.
Yes. And we have ordinance 2025-11. This is an ordinance to amend, revise, and supplement Chapter 3 of the Newton Town Code entitled Administrative Code, Article 19 of the chapter entitled Recreation Commission Advisory, most notably Section 3-69 entitled Establishment and Membership. We will open this ordinance to the public for comment. Seeing none in person, Mr. Russo, any online?
No worries.
All right, we will close the hearing to the public. Do I have a motion to act on ordinance?
I'll make a motion to act on ordinance 2025-11.
You,
I'll second.
thank you. I have a motion by Deputy Mayor Dixon and a second by Councilman Coos. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Coos,
Yes.
Mr. Dixon,
Yes.
Mrs. Diglio,
yes,
Mayor LaFois.
Yes. And we have introduction of ordinance 2025-12. This is an ordinance to amend, revise, and supplement the town code of the town of Newton, county of Sussex, state of New Jersey, most notably chapter 105 entitled Filming, section 105-1 entitled Definitions, section 105-3 entitled Issuance of Permits, and chapter 100 entitled Fees and Costs. Section 100-8 entitled Filming, Chapter 105. Mr. Russo, can you just give an overview of what these changes are?
Yeah, these are changes recommended by our friends in Trenton to attract businesses to Newton that are looking to film, streaming service, TV, et cetera. So you'll see changes in the definitions and some tweaks to the filming fees.
Okay, so council and public may recall that over an 18-month period or longer, actually, Tom's office together, including Kat, have been doing an inventory of properties throughout the town, pictures, descriptions, to make sure that our town is become film ready. We've already had a couple of inquiries, which is great. That is additional revenue to the town, not to mention a spotlight on wonderful Newton. And so we sent our film ready book, so to speak, to Trenton, and these are the recommendations they came back with, Mr. Russo, right? All right, a motion to introduce.
I'll move to introduce the ordinance.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. I have a motion to introduce the ordinance by Councilman Coos and a second by Deputy Mayor Dixon. Roll call, please.
Mr. Coos,
Yes.
Mr. Dixon,
Yes.
Mrs. Diglio,
Yes,
Mayor LaFois.
Yes, and this, the public hearing on ordinance 2025-12 will be held on Wednesday, May 28th at 7 PM or after, as the matter may be heard. Tom, thank you for your work, continued work on this with Kat.
Sure.
We'll move to the consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the town council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Mr. Russo, can you please review the resolutions?
Sure, 138 authorizes the cleaning of Morris Lake Water Treatment Plant, Clearwell and High Street. The award goes to Coastal Engineering, $299,055. 139 releases a cash bond for Thor Labs of $10,000. 140 and 141 are related to energy auction that I'll be doing tomorrow morning. One is for electricity, one's for natural gas. 142 is a change order and acceptance of the 519 project with the county as final and complete. 143, resolution for Suburban Consulting for wastewater treatment plant generator improvements. That's $11,680. 144, estimated third quarter tax bills. 145, members of various boards and commissions. 146, retains Jay Caldwell to serve as acting zoning officer and other duties, her firm. 147, waives a late fee for our housing authority for utility payment. 148, bills and vouchers, and an application from Donovan River Ghost Keeper as a regular member of the Newton Fire Department.
Great. Any resolutions to be removed or discussed or question? No? Okay. Do I have a motion for the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Deputy Mayor Dixon and a second by Councilman Coos. Roll call, please.
Mr. Coos,
Abstaining on checks 13107 and 13117. Yes, other ones.
Mr. Dixon,
Yes.
Mrs. Diglio,
yes,
Mayor LaFois.
Yes. All right, we have our second open to the public. So anybody wishing to address the council, please do so now. Seeing none in public, Mr. Russo, any online?
No raised.
All right, seeing none online, we will close that portion of the meeting. All right, so we'll move on to discussion. This evening, we have our CMFO, Tom Ferry, with us tonight to discuss a memo that was sent to the council regarding the annual review of the water and sewer connection fees.
So Mayor, you have in your packet emailed a copy of Tom's report. This is something we're allowed to do annually after the budget's been adopted. Tom obviously has done these in the past when he was the auditor, so this would be his first report as CMFO. He has recommendations for adjustments to the water sewer connection fees, which we would do by ordinance, and I'll let him tell you the process and his findings.
Thank you,
Tom,
Mr.
floor yours.
Russo.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Mayor. So NJSA, the state of New Jersey, has specific laws in exactly how to calculate the water and sewer connection fees. That's 4826 and 4831. Without elaborating into how it's all calculated, what it basically says is that if somebody wants to connect to our water or sewer, people have paid in the past debt service. Part of their payment is paying for the debt service payments that have been throughout all the bond ordinances. And so what this basically says is that if you want to connect, there's a fee. We got to pay back basically to the town people who have been paying that a certain dollar amount. And the calculation basically says for me to list all the debt service payments for water and sewer, all the capital outlay monies we had in our budget throughout time. And we do go back, you can see it goes back a long way. Actually, I think it was started with Eileen, or it goes way back. But basically it says, okay, here's all the debt service payments. And this is what the number of users or service units. And there's a whole calculation on that. And then you basically divide it and it says, okay, if you want to connect, we're going to pay back the water and sewer this dollar amount. So if you like I said, if you go through, like Tom said, for water, it's 5,537, and for sewer, it's 6,769.
And these are new connections?
Yep.
Just for clarification, for anybody that might be,
Yeah, and these numbers go back 1 year, so it
Mhm.
wasn't based upon this year's, 25. As Tom mentioned, it's supposed to be done annually after the budget adoption. So that's why it's being done today.
so Mr. Ferry, just for the public who may be listening to this later or now, so can you just provide an example? So someone comes in and subdivides property, goes through all the proper channels, and then they're building a new house or a new structure that's never been connected to the water and sewer. This is where this would come into play, and or a commercial development.
You have an apartment building like Water Street Lofts, and they want to put 100 units, they calculate what their payment would be because they're new tie-ins to the system.
Based on those 100 units. Yeah, so it's not a per person, it's based on the structure or the number of units.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. Okay,
And it's, like I said, it is to pay back what people have been paying. So if you're a new user, you're basically paying back on the debt service payments.
okay. Any questions for Tom? Matt? No? If you know. Sandy, do you have any questions for Tom Ferry?
No, I do not at this time.
And
Okay.
maybe just for the sake of argument, in case the question is raised in the future by the public. My perspective is the only potential drawback to this is, looking at it from a development perspective, is this increase going to dissuade future developers because of the increased connection fee in the future? And my perspective is I don't think this is as substantial as an increase to warrant that, but would you agree?
Yeah, it's just a one-shot deal.
Right.
I mean, and you can't basically start, put in your own septic or well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and the advantage of what you all have done with Suburban, bringing them in for the engineering is we're offsetting debt by getting these grants. So the goal is to not see these go up dramatically over the years. That's why we're also not touching the rates,
Mhm.
because we're able to bring in additional revenues from other streams. But yeah, to your point, developers, they may gripe to me in those private conversations but they understand they're tapping into a system that has capacity, which is very rare.
Correct.
So it's basically their entry fee to tap into the system, and we're fortunate that we still have capacity to do that. So
And it's not unique to Newton. I mean,
Yeah, no,
this is
yeah,
every town,
Everybody does
every
that.
town.
565
and our
municipalities.
state.
yeah, if they have a utility of some fashion,
Yeah.
they're supposed to do
Yes.
this annually.
Yeah, and that's a good point about the grants that we continue to apply for and
Yeah.
iBank funding and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah. Take the stress off the debt load.
good. So our next steps then, as per the memo,
Dominic and Eric will work on the ordinance,
okay?
and then we'll introduce it May 28th, and then the adoption would be the second meeting in June just because of the calendar,
Okay,
but that would be next step.
okay. Great,
It's okay?
yeah,
All right, thank you.
we're
Thanks,
good,
Tom.
we're good, move forward, yep, okay. All right. So next up is, any additional council or manager comments, Mr. Russo?
Not at this time.
Sandy, do you have anything else for tonight?
I would just like to know which council people will be in the Memorial Day Parade.
I will be there. I believe Michelle's already
there.
responded. Matt will be there.
Mayor, Matt, Michelle, me.
It depending on the squad's participation, I'll either be with them or with the town, but
Should be.
Might be
full.
driving the
Should
rig,
be full
yeah.
group.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, safe travels, Sandy.
Thank
All
you.
right, so no other council or manager comments. I need a motion to adjourn at 7:21.
I'll move to adjourn.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Councilman Kusen, a second by Deputy Mayor Dixon. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Thank you, everyone.